Hello, hello, hello. Switch back. Good morning. Welcome to Glitter Goddess Yoga. I am back with the 9 a.m. Thursday morning yoga with the Glitter Goddesses. So, this series that I'm doing is in collaboration with the Providence Community Libraries and South Providence Library and the Creative Community Health Worker Fellowship done with the City of Providence Arts, Culture, and Tourism. And I am building engagement for a walking meditation album that I'm going to be working on for the South Side of Providence. So that's exciting. This is our first class for the round. We're going to pick up with revolutionary yoga and maybe move through some different things in the series. Definitely like and share. Subscribe to Providence Community Libraries yoga, YouTube, and look at the other programming that they have going on. They have a lot of stuff going on in the virtual realm on YouTube's. We are accepting donations, the House of Glitter, for our programming. We have some other yoga classes with Trent, the first and third Fridays of every month. And we also have some outdoor activities. So check out the glittergoddesscollective.org for that info. Of course, because I can't respond to your body in person, just take care of your body, be really intentional as you're going into different poses. Definitely have some water nearby. And I always suggest a blanket and a pillow or two as some extra support. So because it's the first class of the series, I am going to just show you all how I would set up. If you don't have a yoga mat, you can use a blanket in the same way. As far as it goes with the relationship of your body and the camera, I'm going to suggest that you lay your mat sideways the way that I do. So I'm going to cue most things from this angle. So you'll be able to see the extensions of my body. So if you're facing in the same direction I am as you see it in the camera, I think this is the best way to orient yourself. Fill blanket, water. And we will start seated. And when you do find your seat, find a nice tall long spine, maybe roll the shoulders back. And here we'll just tap into the natural breath. Slowing down each breath. Continuing to slow the breath. We can roll the shoulders back, finding length in the spine. Sorry about that. And from here, I'll invite us to place the left hand on the belly, the right hand on the chest. Just continuing the slow, controlled breath. Notice which hand is affected as you're breathing. I'll invite us to actively work the diaphragm, sending the breath down toward the hips, toward that left hand. Allowing the belly to rise on the inhales and deflate like a balloon on the exhales, slowly with control. And on the next inhale, I'll invite us to count. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath. 1, 2, and exhale. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Holding and releasing. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. Exhale. 3, 2, 1. One more time. Inhaling. 2, 3. You can release the hands. We'll hold. And exhale. 3, 2, 1. So rolling the shoulders back, we'll inhale up toward the ears. Exhale, release down, slow and controlled. One more time, inhaling, slow, 4 seconds. Then just exhale, open the chest, maybe grabbing the knees, press the chest forward. Finding this length in the spine, we'll raise the arms up overhead on the next inhale. And drop the right hand down to our right side, stretching the left side. Keeping this slow, controlled breath. Continuing to send the breath down into the belly. Maybe opening the chest toward the ceiling. And when you're ready, we'll drop to the other side, reaching the arm up and over. When you're ready, we'll come back to center, rolling the shoulders back, pressing the chest forward, finding length in the spine. Here, we'll raise the arms up and over one more time on an inhale, slow and controlled. And on the exhale, we'll drop right hand to left knee and left hand into our back space. Completing your twist by turning the chin all the way to the left. You can think about using these inhales here to lengthen the spine, using the exhales here to go deeper into the twist. Continuing the belly breath, we'll slowly inhale, lifting the arms up and over to untwist. And exhale, lowering the hands down to the opposite side. Completing our twist by turning the chin, continuing the slow 4-second belly breath. The belly breath here, it allows our diaphragm to almost massage the vagus nerve, the parasympathetic nervous system, telling us that we're safe, allowing your body and mind to communicate, I feel okay. I feel calm. Slow inhales, slow exhales. On the next inhale, raise the arms up and over to untwist, dropping the hands back down. Again, we'll inhale slowly to roll the shoulders up and back. Exhale to release, opening up the shoulders. Inhale and exhale. From here, we'll drop the head to the left, opening up the right side of the neck, keeping the right shoulder down and back. You can even reach the right hand out to your right side and grab the outside of your head with the left hand, just allowing the elbow here to hang heavy without any pulling. And then we'll turn toward the shoulder, grabbing the back of the head, maybe rolling out the right wrist. And from here, we'll switch sides, grabbing the right side, maybe rolling out the left wrist. And then we'll grab the back of the head, turning toward the shoulder, keeping the left shoulder down and back. And when you're ready to release, we'll send the arms out wide, and we'll cross the right over the left, giving ourselves a big hug. Tapping into the belly breath here, we can take a moment to close our eyes, taking in this moment for self-love, for self-appreciation. Deep, slow, controlled breaths, just being here with self. And allow yourself just to bring this feeling into the rest of the flow, bending in the left arm, straightening out the right, continuing this slow, controlled belly breath. Here we're working to keep the right shoulder down and engaging here with the elbow and arm against the left arm. Maybe rolling out the wrists here. And opening up, chest open, heart is open, and then we can cross the left arm over the right, giving yourself a big hug one more time. Notice that reminder here, that feeling you might have. Breathing here with your eyes closed. Just taking a couple breaths here collectively for our own self-appreciation. And when you're ready, we'll bend in the right arm this time, straightening out the left, keeping that left shoulder down and back, engaging with the left arm against the right, keeping that slow, controlled belly breath. And again, maybe here we'll roll out the wrist. And when you're ready, we'll release. We'll inhale to roll the shoulders up. Slow exhale down. Inhaling to raise the shoulders up. Exhale, releasing down. Inhale, roll the shoulders up. Exhale, release down. From here, we'll drop the head to the left again. Slowly rolling the head from shoulder to shoulder, chin to chest. Just continue back and forth, opening up the neck, even the upper back. Keeping a tall, long spine as you're here. After rolling out the head, we'll roll out the wrists. I like to reach my legs out for this. Maybe just waking up the legs as we roll out the wrist. You can alternate engaging in both legs, maybe alternate flex and point. And from here, facing the fingers toward the body, we'll press the fingers and the hands into the floor, slowly opening up the wrists, maybe giving some warmth, some topical heat to the forearms, releasing the fascia. And here we can make fists, and then bending the wrists toward the body, opening up. You can open up the hands, close them again, then just shake it out. From here, we'll meet in tabletop, knees stacked below the hips, making sure that the wrists are stacked just below the shoulders. I like to have a blanket beneath the knees. Maybe take a little break for water before moving forward. So here in tabletop, we're going to start with some cat-cows. So we're inhaling to press the chest forward, reaching the hips up and back, opening the shoulders. And exhaling for cat, we're rounding the spine, tucking the hips toward the forehead. Inhaling, pulling the mat toward our bodies, open chest, open heart. Exhaling, hips move to the opposite direction, right toward the shoulders, toward the forehead. Inhaling, reaching the chest forward, hips up and back. Slow, controlled exhale to round the spine. Inhaling again, slow and controlled. And exhale around the spine, sinking the body with the breath here. Inhaling, reaching the chest forward. Exhale, tucking the hips around the spine. Paying attention to the hands this time. Inhaling for cow, pressing the palms into the mat. Exhale, rounding the spine. 2 more rounds to inhale. Press the chest forward, open up even more. And when you exhale to round the spine, cave in a little bit deeper, maybe finding some space between the shoulder blades. One last slow inhale, reach those hips further back than you did before. Rounding the spine on the exhale. We'll come to a neutral spine from here, and we'll send the right heel back, tucking the toe. You can bounce into this, opening up the calf, opening up the back of the leg. And from here, we'll slide that right foot beyond the left behind you. And looking back at that toe, you're almost lengthening a little bit on the right side, pressing into that left hip. Finding that slow and controlled breath. And we'll slide that foot right back. And from here, so let's warm up the lower spine, get into the hips a little bit. We'll lengthen and float that right leg, pressing into the floor with both hands, engaging in the lower back, reaching the heel back, maybe pointing the toe, flexing, pointing and flexing. And by now, if you feel that warmth in the left side, we'll drop that right knee down to meet the left, touch the toes behind us, and send the hips back over the ankles, reaching the hands forward overhead, letting the head just rest easy on the floor. Maybe allowing the forehead to touch the floor, maybe spreading out the fingers and the palms. This is child's pose. You can return to this pose at any time in the flow where maybe you're feeling too much heat, you need a moment to restore, maybe your breath doesn't feel in sync with your body, you need some time to recalibrate. Maybe you take the entire class in this pose, and that is okay. Touching back in with the breath, noticing where you're at. We'll reach ourselves back into the tabletop pose. We'll send that left foot back this time, tucking the toe. Just engage in the whole left side, the quad, opening up the calf. And same thing on this side, we'll slide that foot toward the right, looking back at our foot, noticing the right hip here, noticing the sensation in the left side of the body. And when you're ready, we'll slide that foot back, floating that foot up, finding the point in the toes, flexing the toes, pressing into the floor with the palms. And whenever you're ready, you can come out of this to go into child's pose. I'll hold it for a little bit longer. Once you found yourself in child's pose again, we'll take those 4 counts, inhales and exhales. This time I'll give you the space to find those counts on your own. Noticing during these breaths, maybe how the legs feel, how the lower back might feel a little bit different. Here at the warm-up of the flow, we're focusing on strength in the legs. We're focusing on grounding, because in our revolutions, in our twists, if we don't have that grounding, we're not really taking care of the spine, we're not really finding alignment. So we'll press back up into tabletop. Again, making sure that the wrists and shoulders are stacked. We'll send both legs out this time for plank. One modification you can make here is just to lower the knees. Either way, we're pressing into the floor with every part of the hand, making sure that we're engaging with the arms, not allowing us to sink in. We're finding length in the spine. The gaze is between the thumbs. When you're ready, we'll lower down slowly, knees, hips, chest, and forehead. Reminding ourselves of that 4 count breath. prop ourselves back up into Sphinx this time. Here we're stacking the elbows beneath the shoulders. You can come to prayer with the hands. Here we're pressing the chest forward, opening up the shoulders, finding length in the neck, pressing the hips into the mat. We can engage the lower back, maybe engage in both legs. And here to find length in the neck, I like to say we can reach the shoulders down and far away from the ears, just as far as we possibly can. Keep that distance between the ears and the shoulders. Warming the lower back, engaging the lower back, pressing the hips into the earth. When you're ready, we'll release, allowing our hands maybe to be a pillow for our heads. Just take a moment to recalibrate the breath again. From here, we'll find a twist on our bellies by resting the left ear onto the mat. We'll goal pulse both arms against the floor. And then use your right arm, your right hand, underneath your shoulder to press your right side body open just a little bit off the floor. Just see how that feels rolling onto the left hip. And from here, we'll bend in the right knee and then drop that right foot into the back space. Twisting open, keeping the left ear against the floor, maybe pressing that left shoulder into the floor. If you find any discomfort here in the left arm, maybe crawl the hand up, maybe crawl the hand closer to your ear, find what feels comfortable here for you. Just search around with that foot, twisting in the spine, keeping that slow, controlled breath. When you're ready, we'll roll back down to the floor and we'll move the right ear to the floor this time. Goal posting both arms. We'll press into the floor with the right hand. Open up a little bit before you bend the left knee. Drop the left foot into the back space. And when you're ready, we'll roll back down to the floor. Coming back up for Sphinx. Checking in with that stack. Engaging with both legs, maybe pointing the toes, maybe locking the knees, pressing the hips into the floor, engaging the lower back, reaching tall and long with the neck, keeping the gaze just above the hands. Noticing that natural curve in the spine, in the backbone, keeping us supported, allowing us to feel firm, as if someone were to try to push you over in this pose, you would be still, noticing the strength in the muscles around the backbone, especially the lower back. Whenever you're ready to come out this pose, we'll lower back down to the mat and push ourselves back up to bend the knees through tabletop and send ourselves back into child's pose, rounding the spine over the legs, maybe reaching the hands up overhead. Once you feel like you've recentered here, We'll reach the hands to the upper right side. I'll cue this from this angle. And crawling that left hand far, far as you can. Imagining that it's stuck to the floor, you can reach the left hip down and back. Just let the head hang heavy here. Remember to keep the breath slow and controlled. This is kind of a counter pose to Sphinx, stretching out the lower back, stretching out those muscles around the spine. And when you're ready, you can crawl the hands through the center to the upper right, keeping the right hip down and back this time. Let the head hang heavy. Opening up these spaces, you can crawl the right hand even further, opening up the muscles, allowing them. Just a moment here to restore. And we'll crawl back to center. We'll just take one more moment in child's pose. Maybe taking a little bit of water before we move forward. And we'll meet in child's pose to press back up into tabletop. Here, if you have a pillow, a stack of pillows, or a blanket, I bring that nearby. We'll find ourselves back in plank, tucking both toes behind us again, and then keeping the hands and feet just where they are, we'll reach the hips up and back for downward dog, finding length in the spine, pedaling out both feet, reaching the heels down toward the floor. Keeping that slow, controlled breath in this downward dog. Keeping the shoulders in their sockets. When you're ready, we walk the hands toward the feet for forward fold. Here you can bend in the knees. We'll slowly just let the breath find its own pace. We'll grab opposite elbows. Just let the head hang heavy here. Maybe nod the head yes. Shake the head no. Play around with straightening the legs. Just do what feels good here in this first forward fold. Noticing the hamstrings, the sensations when we rock from right to left. Maybe noticing the relationship with the hips, with the spine here. And whenever you're ready, we'll bend in both knees and slowly roll up from the bottom of the spine to the top, opening and rolling the shoulders back once we get to the top, grounding our feet into the floor. Here we can flip the palms outward, open heart, open chest, open throat. Here in Tadasana or mountain pose. Our role here is to just find the strength. This simple standing pose can allow a moment to feel resilience, maybe the empowerment that we need in any moment. And once you feel like you've recalibrated the breath and recentered and grounded, We'll inhale to raise the arms up and overhead, extended mountain pose. Exhale to swan dive down, back into forward fold. Inhale, we'll press into the shins, finding a nice flat spine, reaching the hips up and back like we did in cow. Exhale, forward fold again. We'll bend the knees. This time we'll inhale slowly, go up into extended mountain pose, arms up overhead. And exhale, slow, arms back down by our side for mountain pose. Inhale slowly, arms up overhead. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, flat back, pressing into the shins. Keeping the gaze between the toes. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, slowly, extended mountain pose. Exhale, arms back down by our sides. We'll do that round one more time. Inhaling, arms up overhead. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, press into the shins. Exhale, forward folds. Here we can bend the knees, let the upper body just rest here. Let the head hang heavy just for a moment. And from here, we'll bring the hands down to the floor. Let's spread the feet out a little bit wider than the hips. And here we'll press into the floor just with the left hand, maybe crawling out a little bit further if this might feel more comfortable for your spine, depending on how tall and long your upper body is. And here you can press into the floor and reach up and over, maybe opening the hips over to the right side, finding that slow, controlled breath. We'll bring the right arm back down, replacing the left, and reach the left arm up and over, maybe leaning the hips towards the left. And we'll exhale, finding the hands back down on the floor. We'll crawl the hands forward for a downward dog, finding a full expression with wide legs here. Noticing the hips, reaching them up and back, finding that length in the spine. And then on the exhale, we'll crawl back for forward fold. Here we're going to go into chair, so we'll crawl the feet back down to below the hips. And we'll bend to let the upper body just rest here on the legs. From here, let's place the hands on the knees as if we're about to sit down into a chair. And we're finding the openness in the chest that we need to come to prayer pose, and then turn the body to the right, pressing the left elbow into the right knee, opening up and reaching the hips up and back like we did for flat back. Finding that breath, noticing the strength around the backbone, noticing the alignment in the spine. You might need to rotate a little bit deeper. And whenever you've had enough, you can release, straightening the legs on the inhale, bending on the exhale, straightening on the inhale, and bending on the exhale. Slowly roll up the spine, lower, middle, upper, and roll the shoulders back once we get to the top. Here, let's ground our feet again. Opening the palms up for Tadasana, finding that power pose, the strength pose. And from here, we're tucking the hands into imaginary pockets, back pockets, and reaching the shoulders back, reaching the elbows into our back space. And here we can press the hips forward, engaging in the butt, engaging in the lower back, opening the shoulders and leaning, extending back in the spine. You can let the head drop back. Finding the slow, controlled breath, keeping the balance. And when you're ready, you can release here. We'll slowly roll back down into a forward fold, upper, middle, lower, bending the knees. And we'll come back up into chair one more time. Again, find that length in the spine, bringing the hands to prayer pose. We'll twist over to the other side this time. Right elbow to left knee, reaching back with the hips. And when you're ready, you can release, forward fold. We'll inhale again to straighten the legs. Exhale to bend. Inhale to straighten. And exhale to bend. From here, if you have your pillow or stack of blankets nearby, I'll encourage you to have it set up right in front of you so you can drop your hands directly onto the pillow. From here, we'll crawl the hands forward just above the pillow for downward dog. And we'll bring the right knee to the chest and drop the right foot between the hands for lunge. So here, we can try to look for the stack between the knee and the ankles. And then we want the left knee to drop onto the pillow behind us. So from here, framing the foot with both hands, we can think about finding that length in the left leg, pressing the left hip forward. Let's press into the floor with the left hand and reach the right arm up and over, twisting to the right side, keeping that slow, controlled breath. Finding that strength, that grounding in the feet and the legs. If you'd like, you can lift the left knee. And when you're ready, we'll release, bringing that right arm down, keeping the left knee into that pillow. We'll reach back, straightening out the right. If it feels best for you to be completely straight here or just leaning forward with the chest pressing forward, that's okay. And if staying down here with the hands framing the foot, pressing the chest forward, if that feels good for you too, that's okay. Either way, we're pressing the heel into the floor, flexing the right foot. When you're ready, we'll come back to lunge, tucking the left toe behind us. We'll raise the knee, and we'll send that right foot back to meet the left, going into downward dog. Doing the same thing on the other side, we'll bring the left knee to the chest and drop the foot between the hands, dropping the right knee down behind us, checking in with the stack on the left side. And here we'll press into the floor with the right hand, reaching the left up and over, shifting to this new perspective, pressing the right hip forward and finding the strength in the legs, finding that groundedness that we need to open up, finding the alignment in the spine that we need to take on a new perspective. To understand what someone else's life or experience might be like. We need to give ourselves grace. We need to breathe. We need to bring awareness to the breath. Framing the foot again. Reaching that hip forward just for one more moment in this lunge. We'll straighten the knee. We'll send that left foot back to meet the right for downward dog. Finding just a nice, tall, long spine. Reaching the hips up and back further than we did before. Taking our last breath in this pose. When you're ready, you can lower the knees down to the pillow. And we'll crawl the hands back up to be seated. When we're here, we'll roll the shoulders up and back. Just opening up the neck a bit. You can roll it out. Undoing a little bit of the tension that might be present from our downward dogs, from our planks. From here, just to check in with the spine, we'll go to twist to the right side. So left hand on the outside of the right knee, right hand behind us, turning the chin all the way to the right. Just noticing the sensations in the spine, the warmth, the strength you've cultivated to maybe even be able to do this without the support of your arms. We can reach up and over, staying in this twist. And we'll turn to the other side, rotating to the left, keeping the arms up and over. And you can notice what it's like to bring the arms back down, right arm on the outside of the left knee, just using the arms and hands to support, to go deeper, to shift the perspective just a little bit further. When you're ready, you can unwind. From here, we're going to come to a seated pose. You can remove your pillow. Legs out in front of us. We can alternate flex and point here. And we'll take a gentle forward fold. You can round the spine. You can reach toward the toes, whatever feels good for you here. Just noticing the sensation in the lower back. Breathing into that sensation. Sending the breath there. And when you're ready, you can set the torso back up. If you'd like, you can have a pillow just below the hips here. We'll roll the spine down to the floor, keeping the knees up. And from here, if you do have your pillow, I'm going to suggest we pop it over to our left side, where if we drop our knees down, the knees fall right on the pillow. We'll open the arms up to a T and just turn the head to the right. With this gentle twist, making sure that our spine is aligned. So if you need to shift a little bit to the right or to the left, so that the hips are directly below the rib cage, make those adjustments. Find your alignment. And to go deeper into the twist, you can straighten out the left leg and keep that right knee on the pillow. Coming back again to that slow 4 count breath. Inhaling 2, 3, 4. Exhaling 3, 2, 1. Inhaling 2, 3, 4. Exhaling 3, 2, 1. Keeping this slow breath. If you'd like to go deeper into the twist, you can release the pillow, allowing the knee to hit the floor. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe the right shoulder also cannot stay on the floor. That's okay. Maybe the pillow, the support just feels best for you and it's outside of your comfort zone to remove the pillow. That's okay too. And as we continue that slow 4 count breath, we'll unroll, bringing the spine flat to the mat, bending both knees to bring the feet to the floor again. We'll move our pillow to the other side. Checking in, we'll just drop the knees and open up the arms again, turning the chin over to the left. Checking in with that count of the inhale and exhale. Just guide yourself here, keeping your awareness on the breath. And to go deeper, you can straighten out the right leg, keeping the left on the pillow. And to go even deeper into the twist here, we'll remove the pillow if it feels good for you. And when you're ready, you can release back to the floor. We'll open the palms facing upward, just releasing all the weight into the floor here. If you do have that blanket or small pillow beneath you, I suggest rolling it up to be just in that natural curve of the spine we mentioned earlier. And in this pose, laying flat against the floor, Shavasana, the work here is to do no work at all. So I'll allow us this moment to just be allowing ourselves to feel supported by the earth, allowing ourselves to restore, to release our weight, letting go of the tension in the shoulders, allowing them to melt deeper. Maybe noticing on your exhales that you can release even more in the hips, in the knees, the ankles, the toes. Notice that the exhales can allow for the jaw to release, relaxing in the neck. even behind the ears, eyebrows. While we're here in our last few breaths in Shavasana, I'll invite us to reflect on the grounding, the strength that it takes to shift our perspective during this pandemic, during this movement, this racial justice moment that we're in. This revolution cannot take place without the strength and groundedness of our people. Taking a moment to reflect on the alignment that we need just in our, as we need in our bodies, we need in our lives, in our minds, in our spirits, with one another. A moment to reflect on the support that we need to be able to go deeper. And just as importantly, the restoration, the moment of Shavasana that we need every single day. The need to let go, to release, to be supported. So just take that in, feeling that from the earth, feeling that in your whole body. Maybe finding one last, biggest, deepest breath today. And before we end our practice with 4 closing breaths, I'll invite you to crawl over to one side, just curling up into fetal position. Just find a quick moment of comfort. And then when you do meet me seated, rolling the shoulders back, finding length in the spine, length in the neck. You can have the hands on the knees, at heart center, or resting over the heart. And our 4 closing breaths, a breath for the ancestors that we bring into this space, breathing in and out. A breath for the indigenous people who were here on this land before colonization and continue to be here, breathing in and out. A breath to appreciate the support from others, breathing in and out. And a breath to come to our center before we return to the revolution, breathing in and out. The loving human in me bows down to the loving human in you. Namaste. Thank you for practicing with us today. Again, share and like and give us feedback. We love to hear feedback. We love to hear what you'd like to see, some things you might want to try out, suggestions, modifications. We are here, I'm here every Thursday at 9 a.m. For the next couple of months, few months perhaps. Again, building engagement for this Walking Meditation album. Trent is teaching on Fridays, the first and third Fridays of every month at 8 a.m. And yeah, if you want to donate for the programming that we have here at the House of Glitter Performance Lab, the Venmo is the Glitter Goddess Collective, and you can also reach us at theglittergoddesscollective.org or find us on Facebook, the Glitter Goddess Collective and House of Glitter Performance Lab. Yeah. Thanks again. Love.